The National Electrical Code, specifically Section 406.4, addresses the requirement for labeling ungrounded receptacles. According to this section, ungrounded receptacles shall be marked with the word ungrounded in addition to the information already present on their faceplates, as required by Section 406.3d. This labeling serves as a clear indication that the outlet does not have a grounding connection, which is crucial for electrical safety. In addition to labeling the outlet as ungrounded, there are several alternative methods for addressing an ungrounded three-prong outlet. One approach involves installing a ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, upstream of the ungrounded outlet. A GFCI is a safety device that monitors the current flowing in the circuit and quickly interrupts the power if it detects a ground fault, which is a leakage of current ground. By installing a GFCI, you can provide protection against ground faults, even if the outlet itself is not grounded. This eliminates the need for labeling the outlet as ungrounded. Another method involves placing a receptacle tester on the outlet to indicate that it is not grounded. A receptacle tester is a simple device that plugs into an outlet and uses lights to indicate whether the outlet is wired correctly, including whether it has a proper ground connection. While this method is less permanent than labeling, it can still provide valuable safety information to users. Finally, an alternative is to replace the ungrounded outlet with a two-prong outlet that is appropriate for the type of appliance or device being used. Two-prong outlets do not have a ground connection, so they are inherently ungrounded. However, if the appliance or device being used does not require a ground connection, a two-prong outlet may be a suitable replacement. When dealing with electrical systems, it is crucial to follow the National Electrical Code, or NEC, which is a comprehensive set of standards for electrical installations. The NEC is updated every 3 years, and it covers a wide range of topics, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. The NEC is not law itself, but it is often adopted by state and local governments as part of their building codes. This means that electrical installations must comply with the NEC in order to be considered safe and legal. Section 406.4 of the NEC specifically addresses receptacles, which are the points where electrical power is drawn from the wiring system to power devices. This section covers various requirements for receptacles, including their installation, grounding, and labeling. Subsection 406.4d specifically addresses the issue of ungrounded receptacles. As mentioned earlier, it requires that ungrounded receptacles be marked with the word ungrounded. This requirement is intended to provide a clear warning to users that the outlet does not have a grounding connection, which can help prevent electrical shock hazards. In addition to the labeling requirement, Section 406.4d also allows for the use of GFCI protection as an alternative to grounding. If a receptacle is protected by a GFCI, it does not need to be grounded. This is because the GFCI provides protection against ground faults, even if the outlet itself is not grounded. When installing or working with electrical receptacles, it is important to follow all applicable NEC requirements. This includes ensuring that receptacles are properly grounded, labeled, and protected by GFCIs as needed. It is also important to use the correct type of receptacle for the application. For example, receptacles in wet or damp locations must be weather resistant. When working with electrical systems, it is always best to consult with a qualified electrician. Electricians have the knowledge and experience to ensure that electrical installations are safe and compliant with the NEC. They can also help you troubleshoot electrical problems and make repairs. Working with electricity can be dangerous, so it is important to take precautions to protect yourself from electrical shock. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses, and avoiding contact with live electrical wires. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to leave it to a qualified electrician. The NEC is a complex document, and it can be difficult to understand all of the requirements. However, it is important to be familiar with the NEC if you are involved in electrical work. There are many resources available to help you learn about the NEC, including training courses, books, and online resources. The National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, is the organization that publishes the NEC. The NFBA offers a variety of resources to help people learn about the NEC, including online access to the code itself. In addition to the NEC, there are other standards and regulations that may apply to electrical installations. These include state and local building codes, as well as standards from organizations such as the Underwriters Laboratories, or OIL. It is important to be familiar with all of the applicable standards and regulations when working with electrical systems. Electrical safety is a serious matter. Electrical shocks can cause serious injuries and even death. It is important to take precautions to protect yourself and others from electrical hazards. If you are not sure how to do something safely, it is best to consult with a qualified electrician. In conclusion, when dealing with ungrounded outlets, the NEC requires that they be labeled as ungrounded. However, there are alternative methods for addressing ungrounded outlets, such as installing a GFCI or replacing the outlet with a two-prong outlet. It is important to follow all applicable NEC requirements when working with electrical systems. Electrical safety is a serious matter, and it is important to take precautions to protect yourself and others from electrical hazards. For additional information regarding electrical inspection and testing, you can research resources that describe how to inspect outlets. Furthermore, you can find resources for how to fix an ungrounded outlet for additional information. Always consult with a qualified electrician for specific electrical repairs or safety concerns. The proper grounding of electrical systems is critical for safety. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, which allows overcurrent protection devices such as circuit breakers and fuses to trip and energize the circuit. This helps to prevent electrical shock hazards and fires. In addition to providing a path for fault current, grounding also helps to stabilize the voltage on the electrical system. This can help to prevent equipment damage and improve the performance of electrical devices. There are several different methods for grounding electrical systems. One common method is to use a grounding electrode system, which consists of one or more grounding electrodes that are connected to the earth. Grounding electrodes can be rods, pipes, or plates that are buried in the ground. The grounding electrode system provides a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source. Another method for grounding electrical systems is to use a metal water pipe as a grounding electrode. Metal water pipes are typically in contact with the earth, which makes them a good grounding electrode. However, it is important to ensure that the water pipe is continuous and that it is not interrupted by any non-conductive materials. In some cases, it may be necessary to use both a grounding electrode system and a metal water pipe as grounding electrodes. This provides a more robust grounding system that is less likely to be affected by changes in soil conditions. The size of the grounding electrode conductor, which is the wire that connects the grounding electrode to the electrical system, is determined by the size of the service entrance conductors. The grounding electrode conductor must be large enough to carry the maximum fault current that could flow through the grounding system. The grounding electrode conductor must also be protected from physical damage. This can be done by running the conductor in conduit or by burying it underground. In addition to grounding the electrical system, it is also important to ground individual pieces of equipment. This can be done by connecting the equipment to the grounding system with a grounding conductor. The grounding conductor must be sized appropriately for the equipment and must be protected from physical damage. When working with electrical systems, it is important to follow all applicable grounding requirements. This includes ensuring that the grounding system is properly installed and maintained. It is also important to use the correct grounding methods for the specific application. Failure to properly ground electrical systems can result in electrical shock hazards, fires, and equipment damage. Therefore, it is important to take grounding seriously and to follow all applicable requirements. Remember, this information is not legal advice, and it is always recommended to consult with a qualified electrician for specific electrical repairs or safety concerns.